Hello, and welcome back to the Lightkeeper's Path. I am so glad you're here. And today I'm going to talk about integration. Integration is one of the most powerful pieces of healing. I didn't really understand this. I remember about 2.5 years ago, my friends would say, "Hey, yeah, I'm going to take a little time to integrate after, that beautiful meditation or that wonderful retreat." And I didn't really quite understand. And then as time went on, I learned that basically people would maybe go to some type of retreat or event and they'd have time before to drop in. That's another term, drop in, and maybe stay a day after to integrate. So, integration is basically after the healing, it's quiet, it's a sacred space that comes through after a breakthrough, after the tears, the insights, the nervous system releases, the memory, and the energy shift. It is when your body, psyche, and soul are learning how to live inside the new truth you just unlocked. So integration, intellectually, it's at a cellular level. Your system just released old survival strategies, trauma patterns, emotional memory, identity structures. And the reason I bring this up is because last Sunday I had the most powerful session with my current transformational coach. And my sessions go very deep and I dropped in very quickly. We took about a 3-week break. And it was interesting because it wasn't just all tears. I felt the feeling of in my body, and it was something that I was carrying for 35 years, and I really had no idea to what depth. And a decision that I made 35 years ago was a trajectory for the rest of my life. And I had no idea at the time that I was alone when I made that decision and what an impact it would have on my life. And I had to go back and meet that person 35 years ago myself and give her love and assurance that everything she did at that time was perfect. And she was bold for making that decision, and I was grateful. But I bring this up because I wasn't prepared for what was going to happen next. And what happened next was I was extremely tired. I wasn't depressed. I needed more sleep. I was very quiet. I was going within. I was kind of feeling emotionally neutral, but also spacious. I had less urgency. I couldn't even do a to-do list. I couldn't even go grocery shopping. I was processing all of that holding on tightness for 35 years. I had waves of grief and then waves of gratitude. I had a sense of who am I now? It wasn't regression. It was repatterning. My nervous system was literally laying down new neural pathways. And it's interesting because after something like that, sometimes you scroll through your phone because you reach for your phone because it's stimulation, it's distraction. But then it doesn't even really help. You're like, I'm still feeling the same way. So then you just kind of let it alone. What I found that helped me through the integration after that deep healing was really going within and being kind and gentle with myself. I was very selective of anything that I ingested, not just food, but consuming in terms of any type of screen time. So I really didn't scroll. I think I watched a couple Hallmark love romantic movies, but not really many. And I took baths. I went to bed very early, drank a lot of water, had a lot of tea. Some of the baths were bubble baths, listened to very soft music. And actually, I don't think I went running at all week. I went for walks and they were gentle. And I just went within and it felt so good. It was just so lovely. And it took me about 5 days, The first 3 days were like, you're just kind of, ooh, what's going on? And if somebody hasn't done this type, I don't mean to scare you when I talk about the deep work, the deep somatic work. It's beautiful because you're reprogramming your brain and you're going there, you're resetting your nervous system. Support for today's episode comes from my secret weapon, Sonia Flores of Blue Chakra Studio. Blue Chakra is a boutique production agency that empowers women to get their voices out of their heads and into the world. Sonia and her team are the engine behind the Lightkeeper's path. They help me launch, they manage my YouTube, and they handle the tech so I can stay creative. Look, you could DIY your show, but you shouldn't have to wrestle with audio software or waste hours on meticulous editing. I know I don't. With Blue Chakra, you get studio quality sound, a professional strategy, and most importantly, your time back. So you can do what you like to do best, which is podcasting. Whether you're ready to launch, need help staying consistent, or want to rebrand a show on hiatus, Sonia is the partner you need. Go to bluechakrastudio.com or find them on Instagram at Blue Chakra Studio. Tell them Kimberly sent you for a special sponsorship rate. You have a message to share and your audience is waiting. Let Blue Chakra Studio help you reach them. So, for example, I had an experience, and it wasn't any trauma, I wasn't abused or anything like that. It was just a big decision. But because it was a big decision and I felt like I was on my own, I put up a wall that I didn't even I didn't even realize it was there. And I turned a little bit of cold because it was a protective shell. When I think back, it was almost like a stainless steel refrigerator door. In fact, I think that's what it was. So to get through to me, it was kind of difficult. And I was projecting I was strong and I was fine. And until you go back and you go back to that situation and you give that situation, you acknowledge it and you give it love, it's going to be there. It's going to remain. So healing is a journey, and part of the healing is the integration period. And I just felt called to talk about integration because, again, like I said, I had heard about it about 2.5 years ago, and quite honestly, I didn't understand. It's not only preparing for the session or the event, it's also integrating really behind after and really sinking into all that deep work you've done. So I have a follow-up with Dr. Joe, another Dr. Joe event coming up in March. And I live pretty close, so it's an easy trip. But I have decided on this one, I'm going a full day early. And I'm not going to rush down there. I'm just going to integrate in there, meditate, and just be calm about it. And then I'm staying a day after also, so I can calmly just kind of integrate back in because it is really deep work. Yesterday I did like a little kind of a little mini retreat, Dr. Joe, with local people, and it was beautiful. We did 3 different meditations, 2 meditations, and one was a coherence healing, which is like a meditation. And they were deep. It was very, very beautiful. But afterwards, I was just very gentle. I just went with my dog and just did a 25-minute walk and had a cup of tea, had some water, had a light dinner. And again, just was a soft landing because of the deep work. But integration is beautiful. It's not a pause in your growth. It is the moment your soul and your body finally agree. And from that place, your life begins to change without force. You're becoming. It's not a step backwards. And how do you support integration? You do less. Like I said, you move slowly. You eat nourishing foods, drink water, take baths, being in nature. This week, that's right. I did a lot of gardening. I did a bunch of weeding, 3 days, and it was so nourishing. And you let the emotion rise and fall. You don't analyze too much. Journal. I did some journaling. Journal gently. Sleep. Don't forget to breathe. And the healing already happened. This part is the embodiment phase. So I just wanted to leave you with that. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you again to all my listeners for being here. I appreciate you so much. And until next time.